Hi, Young Fives families. This is Mrs. Breinsma here. I'm going to give my first ever virtual back to school night message. So I've got my materials ready to go through with you to welcome you to a brand new school year. I would like to start by going through the items that are in this green folder. Your child will be coming home with this on Tuesday, the first day of school. This is going to be one of our main ways of communicating with each other and getting paperwork back and forth. So I want to go through that with you. First off, in the front packet, there are two forms I need your help filling out. Sorry, I know there's a lot of forms and paperwork at the beginning of the year. This golden colored one is a way for me to get to know your child a little more. You can describe your child's personality and things they enjoy, things that might bring a little bit of anxiety to them. It would just help me know how I can make your child more comfortable here in the classroom. So if you could fill that out and return that to me in the first week of school, I would appreciate that. This white paper is called the Commitment to Excellence Contract, and we need at least one parent or guardian to sign and date it, and we're also asking students to sign it and date it. So if your student isn't able to print their whole name, they can just write the first letter of their name. That's acceptable. Return that the first week of school. Then I've got papers in the prongs in the middle of the folder. These papers are intended to stay in the folder for the whole year. It's sort of like a little resource reference book for you to have on hand. So leave those there, please. At the beginning, we have my Welcome Back to School newsletter. It has my contact information on the bottom. So the school's phone number and an email where you can reach me. It has a little bit about my background, where I went to school, and then some of my favorite things. On the back side of that is the supply list. So I have emailed both of these documents to you, but I would like you to be able to reference them later in the year. I do want to note, in the original email I sent out, I did not have 3 supplies on there that I still want you to have. So I'm giving you a heads up about 3 additional supplies. A can of Play-Doh, a water bottle, and a blanket for resting time in the classroom. We're going to use the Play-Doh for some fine motor skills. The water bottles we need because our drinking fountains, well, they're not broken, but they're out of service. We're not able to use the drinking fountains this year because of COVID. So I would ask that each day you send fresh water in a clean water bottle, and at the end of the day I'm going to return it, so that on these sweaty first days of the school year, your kiddo is going to have something to drink. And then finally, we rest every day for about a half an hour, and I want the kids to bring a blanket, not too big. You know, the size of a beach towel is probably the largest blanket I'd want to have in the room. Bath towels are good. Fleece blankets are really nice because they're soft. So please don't go out and buy something special. See what you have around the house and bring it to school the first day, and I will pack them up in backpacks to send home on Fridays so that they can be washed and then sent back again for the following week, please. All right, then the next page is called Virtual Classroom Do's and Don'ts. You guys all signed up for in-person learning, and I'm so thankful. But in the event that we have to go virtual, these are some guidelines of what to do or not do. This is all kind of for the parent, and on the flip side, there are some visual cues that would be more helpful for student learners. I just want to highlight that if we do ever go virtual and I'm sending out videos to you, that those are not to be shared with the wider public. Those are meant to be private, so I ask that you respect my privacy and the privacy of any students that might be in a video, and not share those out. And that is in the virtual learning contract as well. Next, we have the Eagle Crest School Calendar. You'll want to take a look at that so you know which days might be half days or days off, when conferences are coming up. This is our school-wide behavior management system. You can read that through on your own. And then the remaining pages are some academic support resource pages. This first one is called our Zoo Phonics alphabet. So every letter of the alphabet is associated with an animal and emotion, and this pulls right out of the sleeve. It's a whole packet. And you'll learn that A is Allie alligator, and it explains the motion in the packet for you. On the back side of that, there's a handwriting page that has arrows and numbers on it, letting you know exactly which order to form the strokes in and which direction they go. So that's helpful for parents because you probably haven't thought about your handwriting since you were in elementary school. But there is a right and a wrong way, or a way that we teach at school, so you might want to refresh yourself on that. Next, the orange one is a handwriting page but for numbers. So same idea, but how do we form numbers? And what I love about these page protectors is that you can grab a dry erase marker and have your child practice writing letters and numbers right on top of this plastic, and then just wipe it off with a tissue. And it's a reusable little homework sheet. There's a counting page on the back. It has numbers all the way to 120, just to let you know we're really focusing on 1 to 20 in young fives. But if you have someone who's ready for a challenge, it goes all the way to 120. I also made a handwriting page for name practice, and it has the arrows and the numbers on there as well, so they can learn the correct formation of their name. Same thing, another name practice sheet, but a little bit different format. Sometimes this makes a good Play-Doh mat. If you have Play-Doh at home, the kids can roll the Play-Doh into long snakes and then lay the Play-Doh inside of these bubble letters as an option. And the space at the bottom, if you have letter tiles at home from Scrabble, they can lay the Scrabble tiles here to spell their name, or magnet letters to spell their name. So just a few different ways, tracing, Play-Doh, magnet letters. And then I've got a red calendar. This tells you two things. It lets you know what special class we have that day, and by specials I mean music, art, PE, or technology. We are on a 4-day rotating schedule, so I'm not able to say every Monday is gym. It doesn't work that way. So I want you to have the calendar so that you know which days your child is going to need to have gym shoes on. We don't store the shoes here at school. I hate to tell parents to go and buy special shoes and then leave them at school and you don't have access to them at home. So you are gonna have to buy gym shoes, but keep them at home. Look at the schedule and say, oh, we have PE on Thursday this week. So Thursday your kiddo needs to have the gym shoes. You're gonna wanna look for the letter Y5. Y5 stands for Young Fives. So this week we have Young Fives Art on Tuesday, Technology Wednesday, Gym on Thursday. And then it'll keep rotating. This is also the snack calendar. So I'm asking that each family takes a turn sharing a snack with the class. We only have 7 students right now in person, and we have 14 virtual. So I only need you to provide enough snack to feed 7 kids, so you can send in a box of graham crackers or some apples, and we will portion it here. So don't worry about bagging up 7 bags of pretzels. Just send the whole container and we'll serve it at school. You don't need to provide drinks. We're going to use our water bottles that you're bringing. Napkins are appreciated. If you want to toss in some napkins, that would be great. I don't know what allergies we have or don't have at this point in the year, so for right now, I'm going to treat it as if there were a peanut allergy in the classroom and just ask that you not send any snacks that would contain tree nuts. And I'll update you if that changes and we don't have any allergies to be concerned about, I'll let you know. And then the very last page is called Solving Problems, and it has some different strategies for how kids can solve problems on their own. There's a whole curriculum that I'm gonna be going through with the kids, and we'll highlight a problem-solving strategy every few days. The kids will have some visual posters and clues about that, but I wanted you to know what the strategies are as well, so that you can practice doing that at home, so that they don't have to always go to you, the parent, to ask you to solve their problem for them. And we want them to be their own little problem solvers. So that is your folder. These are gonna go home the first day of the school week, so it'll be Tuesday this week, but typically on a Monday. And I would like you to keep it at home until Friday. And that way, if you need to look through it or you wanna practice name writing or number writing, you have the resource with you at home during the week. But send it back Friday morning so that I can have it packed and ready for your child again on Monday. So goes home Monday, return to school Friday morning. Oh, and one other thing, when I send this home on Monday, empty out the papers that are in the front, because they are either notes that you need to read or paperwork you need to fill out, or they'll be classwork that I've looked at and graded and starred, and they can just go home for the fridge or go home for recycling, whatever you decide to do. But sometimes it starts to get really, really thick. So I just want you every week to remove the papers, please, from the pocket of the folder. Next up, I have a little handbook that I want to go through. I will type this up, I'll edit it for this current school year and send it home so that you've got a copy of it at home as well. But I just have my own little copy that I'm going to go through with you right now. First of all, I have a little paragraph here at the beginning that says welcome to pre-K, and in there I just said I want you to know that I see this not only as a job, being an elementary school teacher, I really see it as my calling. It's bigger than a job to me. I'm going to get choked up. But know that I have been in prayer over your kids, especially this year. Oh. And I'm a person of faith, and I want you to know that I pray for your kids. I want them to feel like they belong here and that they are loved. And as I'm writing your child's name and labeling things in the classroom and typing up their names, I'm always saying, God bless Millie, God bless Hector, God bless every child. I really hope that they feel like they belong here with me and at Eagle Crest, and they are special to me, and this is going to be a good year, regardless of how it goes. It's going to be a good year. Next up, if you need to contact me, I have my information here as well, my email and the school's phone number. But just to give you a heads up, I am going to make a way for you to text me through an app called Class Dojo. I'll email out information about how to sign up for Class Dojo. It's free. I also love it because it translates texts into many, many multiple languages. So if you don't use English as your first language, I think you'll be able to find your home language of choice on the app. It's also a way I can share pictures since you can't get into the building and be with your kids and volunteer. I really think that's going to be an important element this year, is for me to share photos of what we're doing in the classroom, so you can know what to ask your child when they come home from school. If they say, what'd you do if you ask, what did you do at school today, and they say nothing, you can say, well, I got a picture of this or that, tell me about this picture. So I really would love everyone to sign up for the app, and if you're having trouble, I'll help you through that. Next up is a little information about arrival and dismissal. Let's see. In the morning, you are going to drop your kids off at what I call the kindergarten courtyard. And I'm gonna show you in a separate video where that actually is on our property. So I'm not gonna go into it too much, but drop your child off at the kindergarten courtyard, and our classroom aide, Mrs. Barber, is going to greet them at the door every morning and walk them down the hall to where I will greet them at the classroom door. And then at the end of the day, we have 3 separate pickup locations. You are going to be assigned either location A or location B. And that assignment is by whatever your last name is. So if your last name begins with A through M, you're location A. And if it's N through Z, you are location B. I'm going to email that out to you also later today. But some parents choose to pick up their child at the church, which is adjacent to our school property. If you would like to pick your child up at the church instead of at the Eagle Crest parking lot, I need you to communicate that to me before the first day of school. Just say, hey, so-and-so is gonna get picked up at the church parking lot, not the Eagle Crest parking lot. Now, if you're new to Eagle Crest, you might be wondering, what's the advantage, or why would I want to pick up my child at the church instead of school? Well, here at Eagle Crest, you are not allowed to make a left-hand turn out of our parking lot onto Riley at the end of the school day, because it backs up traffic, and we get in a lot of trouble from the local police for making a problem in the intersection. So no left-hand turns. If you would normally need to turn left to get to your house, then we recommend you choose the church. If you would normally turn right onto Riley out of the church parking lot, then you're probably fine picking up your child in location A or B at the school parking lot. So that's a little information about that. Also, I really ask that students give me a face-to-face goodbye before they leave. We used to say a hug, a handshake, or a high five, but we're doing a little bit less contact this year. I don't want your kiddo to see your face across the way and go running for you. I need to make sure that every student is with the correct person and that I know they're safe and that they've been picked up. So if you notice your child running to you, wait, make sure you say goodbye to Mrs. Brynsma before you leave, because there is no worse feeling than looking around and saying, where did Michael go? I don't remember seeing Michael's mom. Did Michael get picked up? I don't want to have that panic, so I need to have a face-to-face goodbye. Next up is, I just had a little information about the green folder. I already went through that, but this is important. And then class dojo, I mentioned to you already. Next up, resting time. We do a half an hour of resting time after lunch every day. And I know many of you are thinking, my child hasn't taken naps in years. That's fine. I don't expect every child to fall asleep. It's just some downtime to recharge. So the kids will lay out their blanket. I turn the lights off in the classroom, but I leave on, I have little twinkle lights, and I put some soft music on in the background. And we just chill out for a little bit. Sometimes kids worry that I have to go to sleep, I have to go to sleep. No, you don't have to go to sleep. Just enjoy the relaxation a little bit. Please no pillows, though. I do want to say that. Send a blanket, but not a pillow or stuffed animal, just the blanket. Speaking of resting, a tip from my child's pediatrician is that 4 and 5-year-olds need between 10 and 11 hours of sleep. I think if you've been at the pediatrician lately, they even have a poster on the wall, at least at my kiddo's doctor's office. So think about what time you need to be up in the morning, count back 10 or 11 hours, and that's your child's bedtime. Make sure your child has breakfast every morning, preferably with something with protein. And new this year, Eagle Crest is offering breakfast. It's nothing fancy. I think it's cereal or fruit, something very simple like that. But that is served, I believe, at 7:40 in the gym. And then I have a little information about snack time, if you want more details about, hey, what would be some suggestions that I could bring for snack. I wrote suggestions right on the calendar in the folder here, the red calendar, but I also wrote some suggestions in this handbook that you can refer to. And next up, I want to talk about recess. We have 3 recesses a day. One is in the mid-morning, and then at lunch, and we have one in the afternoon. And the biggest piece of advice I can give you about that is to pack layers of clothing for your child to wear. Yes, even in early September, when we go out for recess at 9:30 in the morning, it can be a drastically different temperature than it will be at 2 o'clock. We have a 9:30 recess, we have a 12 o'clock recess, and we have a 2 o'clock recess. And I've had days where it's been 20 difference of degrees from the morning to the afternoon. So dress according to the weather, provide a layer, and provide a water bottle because they come in so sweaty. I do something called Happy Camper in the classroom. It's my version of Star Student, but I call it Happy Camper because I have kind of a forest theme going on in the room. So for fun, it's Happy Camper, but it's a way for me to celebrate your child. Every student will get a turn to be the Happy Camper for a whole week. On Monday, they'll bring a poster telling about themselves. Tuesday, they get to share family photos. Wednesday's a show and tell. Thursday, they get to bring a favorite book, and I'll read it to the class. And on Friday, they share a special talent they might have. And when it's your child's turn, I will send a special Happy Camper folder home in their backpack. I'd like to get it out to you a week ahead of time so you can think ahead. And I'd love to get our virtual kids a turn to be the Happy Camper as well, so look for that. I like to recognize birthdays by giving the kids a birthday crown, and we sing the happy birthday song. If you want to provide a birthday treat, sometimes families like to do that. But with the caveat, keep it simple. Please do not send birthday cakes, do not send birthday balloons, just something simple. An example in the past has been stickers. If sometimes families don't want to do food because of allergies or just trying to get away from food treats all the time, it could be a pencil or a sticker or a Dum Dum sucker, something really simple. A lot of the time, if it is food that's kind of a sweet treat, I like to send it home at the very end of the day, and then the kids will eat it at home. So I pass it out just before dismissal, and you might see the candy coming home in the backpack. And then at the very back of the handbook, I just have a little paragraph here called Reducing Mean Behavior. And this information came from Dr. Marcia McAvoy. She's kind of the guru on reducing mean behavior in schools, and she did a training with us at Eagle Crest. It's already been 4 years ago now, but I love what she has to say, and we still use a lot of her strategies in the school system, so I wanted you to have some information about that. I think that's all I have. I'm going to ask Mrs. Barber, who's filming me right now, can you think of anything I have forgotten that parents would want to know?
No, I think you covered a lot of questions. If you do have questions, feel free to email us anytime, and we look forward to seeing your kids. We're excited for this year. It's going to be a great year, and it's going to be so fun.
I'm going to send a separate video where I introduce Mrs. Barber so you can see her face and give a tour of the classroom. So look for that additional video coming your way soon. Talk to you later. Bye.